From LALATE News headquarters in Santa Monica, this is the Midday Report on LALATE.
When the president signed into law your $1,400 third stimulus checks, one of his promises was the effective delivery. He said it's not just to pass a law, it's to ensure that millions of Americans get their $1,400 third stimulus check. All this last week, his progress has been the Help is Here tour, telling the American people that the help is here. But in the live chat before this one, nearly 2,000 viewers were joining me on a live chat, and only about 5 had yet to see the help is here of a $1,400 third stimulus check landing in their bank account today. So where is the help? Is the help here or is the help coming? A full day is still upon us. Direct deposit of your $1,400 third stimulus check could still land in the bank account throughout today. It could also land tomorrow. And what about that mail check? And is there a new way to track the mail check that has yet to be revealed in a thing called informed delivery by USPS? A new video out by Bernie Sanders talks about forced stimulus. The president's talking about forced stimulus as well. And the way he wants to pay for your forced stimulus checks is by raising your taxes, so says insiders. Meantime, across the country, the progress continues to push for the arrival of $1,400 stimulus checks, whether you're in the United States or internationally. The question is how soon and when is it going to land? In this live recording, I jump into the live chat with you again and answer where is that stimulus check if you're on SSI and SSDI and Social Security and railroad benefits. When will it land? And what will happen if it doesn't land by the end of the day? I'll have all those live answers for you in a major recording as Noontime LA gets underway right now. Help is here. That's the $1,400 third stimulus check push by the President of the United States. The help is here. But does that mean the stimulus check will be here? Or will the help come in the mail? I have all those details in a big noontime recording. How are you? Thank you for joining me on a big noontime recording of LALATE. Your $1,400 third stimulus check, your $1,400 third stimulus check will land in your bank account today if it's set up for direct deposit and IRS has decided to send it to you by direct deposit. But what if it doesn't land today? Does that mean it's coming in the mail? And if so, when? I'll have all those answers to you right now. But first, if you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. I don't want you to miss a single video across the board. And there's a lot of things happening, and the more you interact with me and the more I see you and hear your comments, the more I learn from the situation. I have updates from you right away at the middle of this video, at the new time, starting right at the top of this video. And if you also not like the video, make sure you do. It really helps in the algorithm rankings. Consider becoming a member as well. The latest situation is the following. $1,400 third stimulus checks were to land in bank accounts throughout today. It's currently about 11 o'clock here on the West Coast, which means it's about 2 o'clock on the East Coast, which leaves about 3 more hours of banking time for East Coast residents. Midwest, you'll have an extra hour, and if you're out in Alaska or Hawaii, you have a couple more hours as well. But this is sort of the moment of truth over the next hour and a half, 2 hours. Why? Because this was the time, a week ago today, on St. Patrick's Day, when viewers jumped into the live chat and said, I just got it. I just got it. It was around this time, a week ago today, that the list, which you've heard me refer to on this channel, it's a list of about 30 banks, started to appear those deposits of $1,400. Those deposits would also likely appear now as well. Let me explain to you what's going on. A second wave of $1,400 third stimulus checks was sent out by IRS last Friday. The effective date of the check is today. That means that if you would actually look at the check, it would have the 24th in the corner. Now, because it's direct deposit, you can't actually look at the check. It's a digital, it's an electronic transfer. But that means that banks generally would not release the funds until today, the 24th. IRS said some banks may release it ahead of time, and they did. Chime, Green Dot, Green Dot, H&R Block were among those released early to some of the viewers before today. But today is the big day. Today is the date of the check, the date of when the check is dated. And that means that the big banks would likely release the funds today. And they started to release the funds. Chase and Bank of America started to release funds to viewers earlier today. In the earlier chat of this channel today, I asked viewers who had received checks so far today, and these were the answers. Chase, they received deposits, viewers told me about an hour ago. They had received deposits so far earlier today from Chase, Direct Express, Green Dot, Citizens Bank, Bank America, H&R Block, Regional Bank, and TD Bank. Those were people reporting deposits today for the $14 stimulus check. Now, understand, I asked that question of a chat room of a live show that had 2,000 people watching in the live chat, and I got about 6 to 12 saying, I just got it. Not a particularly good number, is it? No, it's not a good number. So I wanted to know who was watching the video. I wanted to know what type of demographic is this? Who was watching the video when 1,200 people in a live chat and about 6 to 20 got it today at that time? And this is who they said they were. When asked if they're on benefits or not benefits, it was about 70% on benefits, 30% not on benefits. When I asked whether you file your tax returns or you don't file tax returns, it was about the same. And when I asked if, and then when I asked if you had gotten the stimulus check before by direct deposit, they said, of course, yes. So you saw how it was a universally big issue across the board. Now, understand, if you're just tuning in, over the last week and a half since it became law, I've had hundreds of thousands of viewers on benefits, SSI, SSDI, Social Security, and Rural benefits, get the stimulus check in their bank. I've had hundreds of thousands. I've also had hundreds of thousands not on benefits not get the check. I've also had hundreds of thousands of people on benefits also not get the check. So I've had a lot of situations where people just not getting it and also getting it. But I got to tell you, today, the numbers so far earlier in the day were not reassuring, did not show a lot of people in a live chat getting it. Now, a week ago today, this is when this list grew. These were the banks that came in a week ago today at about this time, in the middle of the day. Citizens Bank, PNG, Bancorp, Chime, PayPal, NetSpend, Green Dot, People United Bank, US Bank. These were banks posting deposits in the middle of the day last week when that was the first wave. PNC Capital One Bank, Lake Michigan, USAA, Union Bank, MetaBank, Navy Federal, BB&T and Wood Forest, Bank America, Wells Fargo, Chase, H&R Block, Emerald Card, and also TurboTax. Those started to really post the funds around now a week ago. So this is really the big moment of truth. Over the next 2 hours, we will start to see if this is the real big moment. Understand, banks post deposits throughout the day. All banks post deposits throughout the day. They may have the funds, but they actually show you the funds are available in an alert on your on your online banking throughout the day. They show throughout the day until the end of the banking hours, which is about 5 o'clock where you are locally. So what happens if you do not see a deposit appear by 5 o'clock local time, your time today? What should you think about that? This is what I'm going to say first, and then I'll tell you what IRS said. I believe that if you bank at a big bank like a Wells Fargo, Chase, Bank America, Union Bank, anything big, Capital One Bank, things like that, if you don't show it post by today, it's likely in the mail because big banks generally don't hold the funds for the day after. Second, if you bank at a smaller bank, then give it to the end of tomorrow, maybe the day after. I'm going to say to tomorrow for now, and I'll start to see if things still post the day after that. But I'm going to say literally to the end of tomorrow, the 25th. Why? Because credit unions, smaller banks may want to wait to clear the funds in a way different than big banks do it. Because even though it's federal money, it's good money, they may have different banking clearance policies. After that, mail time. It's mail time. Now, here is the real rub, is whether everyone is going to get it in the mail that's not getting by direct deposit, or there's another issue. You heard earlier today on Mornings at LALATE the breaking details, which is there's a letter from Democrats, including Representative Neal, who is head of the House Ways and Means Committee, which had the largest chunk of the bill to pass. The largest part of the chunk of the bill was in his committee. He wrote a letter with 4 other Democrats co-signing it to Social Security and IRS saying, we have an urgent problem. Now, I read the letter earlier today. I don't particularly understand from the letter what is the problem, other than he's clearly suggesting people aren't getting checks. But what more do you know except people aren't getting checks? Guess what? I got people not getting checks from every walk of life. I have people on benefits not getting checks. I have people not on benefits not getting checks. I have people who file tax returns not getting checks. I have people who do file tax returns not getting checks. I have people who got the first stimulus check by direct deposit are not getting this one by direct deposit. So I have a lot of people having a lot of various problems, and so the details of his letter are missing. Now, this is what you need to know, is that the best indicator of what's going to happen tomorrow is the following. If you bank at a big bank and it does not appear by the end of today, it's likely in the mail. If you do not bank at a big bank and you can find information about your situation on irs.gov and it has results, great. That's the best indicator. More about those results in a second. But if you do not bank at a big bank, you go to irs.gov and there's no results about your name, then you would likely see it in the mail if you don't see it by direct deposit by the end of tomorrow. Let's cut to that mail situation now. The mail situation is a little bit unclear. I'm going to show you how it's unclear. First, IRS's official statement is if you don't see it by direct deposit today, it's in the mail. Then they're asked to say when in the mail, and they're not particularly clear as to whether there's only been one wave of push for the mail or there's going to be multiple waves. They're unclear. And what's also not very clear is why I have a lot of viewers who are signed up for direct deposit getting it in the mail. And then I have viewers who have signed up for direct deposit getting no result at irs.gov. Let me explain that result and what it means. If you go to irs.gov and you do get a result and it says it's in the mail and it has a date, let me explain what that means. First, let me explain how many people are getting that result. For people on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, and Railroad benefits, this includes you. It also includes people not on benefits. Nearly 50% of the viewers of this channel who got the first and second stimulus check by direct deposit, when they go to IRS and they do get a result, 50% of those direct deposit recipients of the first and second stimulus checks get a result that says, nope, it's coming in the mail. That's a lot. 50%. It's a lot. How many does IRS say are getting that result? How many people who thought the third stimulus check was coming by direct deposit will be getting the mail? IRS exact words is large amount. Drop in the comments right now what you think large amount is. What percentage do you think large amount is? I think large amount is 40% at least. I mean, large amount is not 30%. Large amount is not 20%. Large amount sounds a lot of people. So if you go to irs.gov and you go in there and you get a result of a date for mail, let me tell you what that means. If it says March 31st mailed, it does not mean it's going out on March 31st, and it also doesn't mean it's arriving on March 31st. It means that the effective date of the check that's in the mail is March 31st. Meaning if you look at the check in the corner, it's dated March 31st. It doesn't mean that the check starts in the mail on the 31st or arrives on the 31st. So what date does it arrive then? Well, it'll generally arrive 1 to 2 days ahead of the effective date. Most times, 99.99% of the times, IRS sends out checks way far in advance of the effective date so that you get it by the date in which it's effective. And most of the times you get it 1 to 2 days ahead of time. It's happened with countless viewers of this channel. So if you do get a date when you go to irs.gov, that's great news. What happens if you don't get any information from irs.gov? I'll have that coming up in a second. How to perhaps fix the lack of information from irs.gov. And then we'll go over this, informed delivery consent. Can you track it with a with a wonderful feature at USPS called Informed Delivery Consent? I'll be going over that shortly in a second. Let me jump into the live chat right now, and let's see what's happening. If you got your stimulus check today, say got it and what bank. If you got a stimulus check today and you're in the live chat right now, say got it and what bank. And let me see what results I have. The chat's going relatively slow at the moment, so I'll be able to see it. And so far there's no results. Today I got mine, Teresa Grubb. So Teresa, if you want, can you possibly say the bank you got it from? If you got the stimulus check today, okay, Crayola got it for PNC. That is a new one. So thank you, Crayola. He got it from PNC. If you got it today, Direct Express, says Louise. So there's another Direct Express. Great. Thank you, Louise, for that update. TD Bank, Wendy, thank you. I think Wendy may have been in the chat before because I had a TD for as well. Oh, Wells. Okay, now we see some movement for Yvette. We have Wells. So now we see some new names coming in. We did not have Wells earlier. So thank you, Yvette Gandy, we now see Wells. If you got it today, say which one you got it from today. And then it's slowing down. So as you see, that was really only about 4 people in a pretty good sized chat that just got it at the moment. Anyone else, if you're just joining it, who got it got the direct deposit today, and say which bank. Otis got it from PNC last week. Thank you, Otis. My mom got it, and she's on SSDI Wells Fargo. So there's another Wells, Juan Sosa. His mom is on SSI, and she got it from Wells. So this is confirming what we thought was going to happen today, that what I had reported for a few days, that the big banks were going to post the funds today, Wells, Chase, and that has been what's happening. Anyone else show it yet posting today? So very, very slow. So let me jump back into the feed. You're seeing what's happening right now, that this is the critical moment of the day, and we really only had PNC and Wells as the newcomers. These are banks who have now posted funds to viewers of this channel today of the $14 third stimulus check. Wells, Chase, Bank of America. I mean, it's exactly what I had said was going to happen. I told you the big banks were going to post the $14 third stimulus check today. And I specifically said Chase, Wells, and Bank of America. Why did I say that? Because over the weekend, Chase told one viewer there's going to be a big drop on the 24th. And Wells told another viewer there's going to be a big drop on the 24th. And I said, I expect B of A to do the drop as well. That's what I said all weekend long. And on Monday, the IRS confirmed the big drop is today. Well, so far, the big banks, Chase, Wells, and PNC have made appearances. Chase, Wells, and Bank of America have made appearances. Direct Express has posted to a couple of viewers this channel, so that's really good news. Green Dot, smaller banks, Citizens Bank, H&R Block, Regional Bank, and TD Bank, and PNC are the smaller banks that did post as well. So it's starting to formulate like how we thought it was, but we still now see a lot of people not getting it. All right, let me jump back into the live chat. If you've not gotten the stimulus check, say no and say the bank. So if you bank at a bank and you haven't gotten it, or a card, say nothing. So there's Iris, Chase, nothing. Ty Crump, Bank America, nothing. Terry, Direct Express, nothing. Michael, Bank America, nothing. Washington Financial, nothing, says David. John, please try again. BOA, nothing, says Kimba. There is nothing from Chime, says. See, if you're watching the live chat with me, you can see how it went from very slow. And as soon as I asked for people to tell me who's not getting something, it's now flying. Flying. It looked like a slow car, like a 90-year-old car going down the road before, and now it looks like a supercharged car zooming. My goodness, you see how? Oh my goodness! So you see how many people are not getting it? No, nothing for Chase, nothing for Navy. No Chase, says Betty. No Navy Federal, says Cheryl. Nothing for Direct Express, says Beth. Maxine, nothing from Bancorp. Extreme, nothing from Navy, Miami-Dade Federal as well. Nothing from Comerica, says Danny. Let me see some of the more comments. Nothing from Wells, says Donna. Nothing from Bancorp, says Michael. I got my check today, Alan. If you got your check, say the bank you got it with, unless it's in the mail. Nothing for Direct Express, says Mike. Nothing from Wells, says George Bartlett. Alicia, nothing yet from Regions. Nothing from Chase. So what you see now is very, very fascinating. Let's recap what's happening. So it's currently about 11:20 on the West Coast, which is about 3:20 on the East Coast. You got about an hour and a half left of your banking hours on the East Coast. Midwest, you got about 2.5 hours left. Hawaii and Alaska, you got a lot more time still upon you. And you see how with about 90 minutes left in the banking day, you have a lot of people from big banks, a lot of big bank customers, including big bank benefit customers and big bank non-benefit customers. I mean, people on SSI and SSDI who go to big banks, and people not on SSI and SSDI, also big banks, not getting the stimulus checks. So this is really interesting. We did see Bank America, Chase, Wells, and Citizens post deposits today, but that was literally for just a handful of viewers. And then suddenly, it was like a tsunami. People from the same bank saying, "No, I didn't get it. I did not get it." So what should you think if you are a big bank customer and you go to 5 o'clock Pacific, you go to 5 o'clock your time, local time today, and it does not post? You want to look tomorrow, but if it doesn't post today, I think it's in the mail. I think it's in the mail because I don't think the big banks are going to hold an effective check of March 24th to March 25th. They're going to release it today. There's always a possibility they release it tomorrow. You got to hope they do. IRS says no, they aren't. They're going to release the funds today. But I think of the smaller banks, of which we don't have a lot of smaller banks in the chat, then you could get one more day. Let's go to that paper check and that delivery of that paper check. What you need to know with that paper check is that IRS is delivering more paper checks or mailed checks than you would ever have thought. If you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, or Railroad benefits, nearly 50% of my viewers, which are millions of viewers every day or so, are getting it by mail. And these are people who did not elect to have it by mail. These are people who expected it by direct deposit. 50% of them. There's currently 1,500 of you in the chat right now. Chat rate's 152, so it's quite high. And of 1,500 of you, nearly 50% of, I think all of you were expecting it by direct deposit. I think these are people all expecting by direct deposit. How many of you will likely see it by mail? Well, what's ironic is that well, now it's almost 1,400 people. 1,400 people in the live chat, going into today, I was going to say 50% of you would likely get it by direct deposit, but 90% of you aren't yet getting the stimulus check. So what does that mean? Does that mean nearly 100% of the people in this room who expected it by direct deposit may see it by mail. We'll see those numbers in a few hours from now. But you see how suddenly we're going from so many people anticipating the deposit today, and we don't show a lot of deposits just yet. Let me jump more into the live chat and see what people are saying right now. Deborah says another hour and a half from where I am for the mail. Citizens Bank, nothing, says Jenny. I told my friend this morning the next week. Now understand, there is no more direct deposits after today or tomorrow. That's the official statement from IRS. I want to make this very, very clear to viewers of this channel. IRS's official statement earlier this week is the official statement. This is the wave of the stimulus check, the second wave. And if you do not get it in the direct deposit, it's in the mail. That's their official statement. Now, they can change their official statement. The federal government changes things all the time. But understand, there is no other wave of direct deposit, says IRS. This is it. And if you don't get it by direct deposit, it's in the mail. So suddenly the tracking of the stimulus check by the end of tomorrow by the mail is going to be a big story on this channel, because if we do see this many viewers still not getting the stimulus check by direct deposit by the end of tomorrow, we're going to have a lot of people tracking it and ensuring that we see some activity in the mail. Let me jump back into that live chat right now. If you got the stimulus check today, drop in the comments. And if you didn't, say no check and what bank. Nothing from Wells, says Mud. Irene, how do I find out when his stimulus check is getting processed? You don't have to figure it out. The stimulus check by direct deposit was sent out last Friday, so they already have been processed, meaning the stimulus check will only appear either to yesterday, today, or tomorrow. There's no other guessing to it. Thank you for your comment. Alvin, Chase, nothing. Survivor, 1995. Wells, nothing. Wayne Martin, but this isn't the final group of deposits. IRS says it is. IRS's exact words earlier this week is, if you do not get it by direct deposit, look for it in the mail. That's their exact words. Now, IRS can change their position, and they've certainly changed it before, but IRS's exact words, if you do not see a post by today, it's in the mail. No check, Regions Bank, says Sheila. Thank you. Nothing on Woodforest, says Richard. Nothing for Comerica, says Big Blue. Robbie, nothing from Great Western Bank. Let me see some more of the comments. Oh, so Sheila says, so happy, my stimulus check came in today. Delaware Company, PA versus via direct deposit, PNC Bank. So there's another PNC bank. It seems like a reoccurring occurrence that the banks that are paying today are continuing to pay. PNC's now paid 2 viewers. Wells has paid a couple viewers, but also not paid others. Chase, Direct Deposit, Direct Express, Green Dot, Citizens Bank, Bank of America, H&R Block, Regions Bank, and TD Bank. But there is Vincenzo, who says TD Bank, nothing for Vincenzo. So it shows you the contrast across the board. Lots of people today for Wells, says Sue. Thank you. Let me see some more of the comments. A Direct Express, nothing from Century Bank, says Mike. Nothing from Woodforest, says Santa. Nothing from Wells, says Holly. Is Comerica a small bank? It's not one of the, it's not, a top 5. Nothing from Capital, Sienda. Someone had something about Chase. I have no check, I'm with Chase, says Luvenia. So you see how the situation is still really moving a little bit slowly. It's moving a little bit slowly. Oh, thank you for the massive super chat. Crayola, I didn't see that. My goodness, thank you so much. So let me tell you where we are as we approach the 29-minute mark. I have a lot of stuff I'm going to show you in the next video because there's so much news happening today, and I don't want you to miss any of the news. Among the things I'm going to show you in the next half hour is new video from Bernie Sanders. I'm also going to go over this, which is going to be very important for us all. It's called Informed Delivery from the USPS. I'm also going to go over how to track the stimulus check for purposes of mail delivery on irs.gov. A new video from the White House, and what I want to end quickly with is a little bit about forced stimulus because it doesn't take a long time to say. The update about forced stimulus, it's a mess. Okay, I'm done. The update with forced stimulus is literally a mess. The President of the United States, according to insiders, met with executives of energy companies yesterday. Energy companies? Why is he meeting with energy companies about our stimulus? Because he wants to ensure that the energy companies are on board with him about his infrastructure plan. There's just a little problem with that. The problem is that Congress is not on board with him for a stimulus plan. They don't like it. So you can get the head of Exxon and what companies did he have in there? I think he had Exxon and BHP and BP and Chevron in there. They may say, yes, Mr. President, we'd love it. And apparently they did. But Congress doesn't. And I'm not referring to Republicans. I'm referring to his party. Here's what's going on. The president does not have support from over 100 Democrats unless there's reoccurring stimulus checks every month until the pandemic's over, which according to Janet Yellen and Jerome Powell today and yesterday, before those banking committees, those live videos, which I showed you yesterday, and the one this morning I couldn't cut in because it started too early, they both said this pandemic's not over to the end of this year, at least. So the Democrats are right. Monthly checks until the end of this year. That's about $12,000 to $16,000. President's response? Silence. They also want the president to do other things, like $15 minimum wage. Silence. The eviction moratorium, by the way, you know about that eviction moratorium? It's about to expire in just a few days. What's the president's response about that? Silence. Then there is the student loan debt forgiveness, $50,000. President's response about that? No. And then you have the real big issue. How are you going to pay for all this forced stimulus? Well, here is the big rub. Democrats don't want to apparently tax and spend like some Democrats often do. And so Democrats have told the president, if you can't figure out a way to finance this program with your own federal money, I'm not going to tax the American people to send out stimulus. And guess what? That's what Democrats are saying, not Republicans. And then finally, we have other Democrats that say, we're not supporting it unless you get Republicans to do it. We're not shoving another throat down. We're not shoving another bill down Republicans' throats again. That's not how we do things here. Well, guess what? His plan is to tax the middle class, tax the capital gains taxes, tax inheritance tax, which everyone has inheritance tax. Your elderly grandparent dies, there's inheritance tax. Everyone has inheritance tax. He wants to tax as well. And then finally, he wants to tax, well, the wealth tax, the billionaire tax. So, hot mess. When is it going to come together? No, not sure. We're likely to see the bill in the next few days. Apparently, the bill is being split into two parts. But I got to tell you, the path to get it approved, no clue. It's not something I would bet on just yet. For now, the third stimulus still has a lot of money in there, $5, $10, $15, $20,000. The student loan debt forgiveness is separate, but the financial aid, $1,700 at your institution. The EIDL has yet to go live. There's several problems going on with EIDL and the business grants all over the place. I'll be staying with that subject matter for you later over the next few days. Also, even Maxine Waters yesterday says the states are not doing the rent grant and the food grant the way they're supposed to. So there's issues with that as well. And finally, what's important to understand is that there's a lot of money in this third stimulus package, and IRS has yet to give big updates about it. One of the big updates earlier today, which I told you, but I want to tell you right now, is that IRS came out with a major advisory last night about the following. The $10,200 of tax-free money for your unemployment from 2020, They have still yet explained how you will account for that on your 2020 return, but they gave you this break. They said that that, as you know, you can only do that if you made less than 150,000. They said the money you made from unemployment will not count towards that $150,000 threshold. So that is really great news. With that, there's a lot still happening. And in the next video, I jump live into the chat and we interact in a much bigger form than even this video. I'll be interacting with you one-on-one and seeing your situation as go into that final hour on the East Coast today in which deposits may post. This is going to be a big moment. So join me on that big video coming right up after this, no break. If you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Also like this video. And if you've not become a member, consider becoming a member. Stay informed, stay focused, keep on smiling. I'll see you in just 3 minutes. Save LA for more.